This is Attorney Lewis Haskell, and in my previous video I was discussing some of the options for businesses that want to stay in business but have, among other problems, the fact that they need to service debt. And we discussed the possibility of maybe refinancing the debt, perhaps through the SBA. We discussed the possibility of negotiating debt or reorganizing debt on a voluntary basis. And we discussed the various bankruptcy options that might be available. And I want to talk a little bit more about reorganization through bankruptcy. And I really want to focus on Chapter 13 because I think focusing on the new subchapter 5 of Chapter 11 is getting a little too in the weeds for all of this. But everything you can do in a 13, you can do in a subchapter 5. 13s are only available for individuals. Corporations would have to go into subchapter 5. But in either event, you're able to fashion a plan in which you are paying or reorganizing your debt over what could be a 5-year period. And in many cases, cramming down or reducing debt as the rules allow. So that, for example, if you don't have much in the way of assets and you have a lot of what we call unsecured debt, credit cards, vendor debt, personal loans or unsecured loans, business loans, these can all be knocked down to close to zero, pennies on the dollar. The formulas, again, I don't really want to dig into, but the concepts I do. Very often I have people come in and they've had hard times. They have fallen behind on secured debts that are necessary, that secure equipment or real estate or vehicles or whatever that are essential to the running of the business. So that if these things get repossessed, foreclosed upon, otherwise seized, they're out of business. They also have a vendor debt. They have every other kind of debt you can imagine. They probably have tax debt, whatever. We're able to take it and throw it all into the pot in a Chapter 13 and first of all, give the debtor some breathing space. In other words, most of my clients are very good at what they do. In fact, some of my clients are now my vendors because they're so good at what they do. I now hire them when I need them, now having saved them. But they're not so good at dealing with these problems, and they need someone else to deal with that, or a system for dealing with that. And the Chapter 13, or now the subchapter 5, allows that. All of their problems, all the phone calls, all the headaches, all the hassles, all the threats, all of the hiding equipment for fear that somebody's going to take it, is now just one monthly payment, or a series of monthly payments rather, and that's the end of it. If they pay, they're good. If not, well, we have to talk again. So that by itself is a big help. But it also allows us, for example, if you're in arrears on a piece of equipment or a piece of real estate or a vehicle or whatever, we can take that arrears and reorganize it over that 5-year period, so that you can go from, we're coming to get your equipment tomorrow to where I'm going to pay for it over the next 5 years and be done with it. We can, on equipment and whatnot, even in Chapter 13, we can cram down the loans to the values of the equipment. We can reorganize taxes. Sometimes, if it's personal income tax in a 13 and it's old, we can sometimes discharge that as opposed to paying it. There are a lot of things that we can do in Chapter 13 and now in subchapter 5 to keep a business alive and to keep it going. And it's something we've done on a number of occasions. Apparently, I'm going to have to talk about Chapter 7 in another video. But until then, please stay safe and stay strong. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you.